This is listener-supported Classical 89.5 KMFA. I'm Dianne Donovan. Welcome to Midday Oasis.
We're KMFA. We've loved being Austin's classical music radio station for over 52 years, serving 100,000 weekly listeners 24/7 in Central Texas and beyond. Ever since our founding in 1967, we've been a community-led organization created by classical music lovers who wanted Austin to have access to listener-supported classical radio. The call letters KMFA were chosen to reflect this mission: classical music for Austin.
KMFA is, to me, a community. I know it sounds a little bit different from what most people would say, but I think that radio is a very intimate vehicle, and that we have at KMFA a community, people who are listeners and who work there and who are involved in volunteering and what have you, all kind of relate to each other. And I think that there is a feeling, certainly with me, that when I'm listening to KMFA, I feel like I'm with friends.
Today, we still rely on listeners' generosity to keep classical music and cultural programming available to all. We feature locally produced shows like Classical Austin, Early Music Now, and Icons of Broadway, as well as nationally distributed programming from American Public Media, NPR, and Public Radio International. We broadcast Austin's finest classical music performances over the air and stream them online, making their music available to listeners in Austin, across Texas, and around the world. In everything we do, we're inspired by the city we call home. We want our programming to reflect the people who live in Austin today. We feature content on our station that expands the definition of classical music, allows our audiences to discover new works, and includes composers and ensembles who have been historically underrepresented in classical music.
We often lose sight on, especially for many of us who've been teaching for a long time, is that the benefit to studying the arts, to studying music, is music. And so being able to provide that to the Austin community on the whole is invaluable.
And we strive to reach new audiences wherever we can, online, through our website, social media, and through our Soundtrack of Austin app, and in person at local concerts we sponsor, ongoing events at breweries, dog parks, and art galleries, and at our annual birthday social. As we look to the future, we're especially focused on fostering a love of classical music in tomorrow's leaders and musicians. Since 2013, we've partnered with the Hispanic Alliance on an annual instrument drive, which has brought more than 1,000 instruments to kids across Central Texas who wouldn't otherwise have access to music education. Through partnerships with educational nonprofits and schools across town, we bring children of all ages into the station to experience the magic of classical music radio.
I love KMFA. I think it's a great music station. Classical music just vibrates with me so much. I can't live without it.
Most of all, we're proud to call Austin our home. We're lucky to be part of such a vibrant community of musicians, composers, ensembles, and arts organizations, and we do everything we can to reflect this in our programming. Our monthly broadcast series, Listen Local, features Austin performing arts organizations like the Austin Opera, the Austin Symphony, the Houston Tillotson University Concert Choir, and many, many more. We support hundreds of local arts organizations each year with on-air promotions and interviews, and in 2018 created a special documentary series on Leonard Bernstein to celebrate the centennial of his birth. A listener of ours recently said, "Thank you for being the glue that holds the Austin classical music world together." We're here because the Austin community launched and has continued to support the station for over 50 years, and will be here playing the music for as long as Central Texans want locally hosted classical inspiration.
I'm Sarah Schneider. You're listening to Rideshare here on KMFA. Thanks so much for tuning in.